Welcome to Your Life Podcast, the place where life becomes that little bit simpler. Thanks so much for joining me on the Your Life Podcast. I'm Angela Lockwood, and in this episode I'm interviewed by the very funny Luke and Susie of the Luke and Susie Show. And we're talking about what are some things that we can do at the end of a very long week to help us wind down, switch off, and get into the groove for the weekend. I hope you enjoy it.
Luke and Susie with faith, family, culture. And Susie, normally a bad movie, a slow movie, a movie that's sort of no good, you sort of start to watch it and you think, what the heck am I doing? Apparently, it could be good for your relationships and your general mental well-being. According to something I read in the book of our next guest, the book is called Switch Off and her name is Angela Lockwood. And I'm telling you the truth, Susie.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Her advice was basically watch a bad movie.
Okay.
And she didn't use the word bad, but really, we're going to get to this in just 30 seconds' time. Our guest, the author of Switch Off, Angela Lockwood, encouraging us to watch terrible, slow, boring movies in order to have a better life. Angela, I was reading in your book, and this is a suggestion to switch off. You describe it as a slow movie that's not going to overstimulate you. And I'm like, well, that's a bad movie, isn't it?
Luke, I think you're turning my words around to suit your needs here. Can I just say, a slow movie is not a bad movie or a boring movie. A slow movie is a movie that allows you to slow down and switch off. And so it could be a funny movie, it could be a romantic movie, it could be an action movie. But when we're sitting and chilling in front of the TV, if you've had an on week, so one of those weeks that are high energy, high frantic, full schedule, there is nothing better than come Friday night, switching on a movie of your choosing and just chilling. It might be eating in front of the TV, or it might be, just flicking through Netflix and going, I haven't seen that before, I want to explore it. It is so great to finish off and round off a week where you can just chill and do something that you love.
Do you know, I find the whole switch off techniques really hard to find the right one that works for me. So let me tell you what I found that works. Movies, computer games, and big social, like having people over for dinner and having conversation with real life people. But there are times
Real life people.
I mean not on Facebook or not on whatever, but just where you're dedicated to someone in conversation. The problem with that option, Angela, is at the end of a hard day, that can, it's not quick to organise and it's, pretty time consuming. Whereas if I want to switch off, like I feel like technology is it. As someone who's not a reader, so I struggle because I feel guilty for sitting down watching movies and playing computer games all the time just to stop thinking about work and life.
Yeah, there's lots of strategies to switch off, and often, and before people read my book, Switch Off, they think it's all me being anti-technology, and it's not that at all. Switching off is more around what our habits that we create and also how we allow our mind and our body to slow down. And so for some people, I love scrolling through Instagram. I love it. I sit there and just look at the photos. But it's when it gets to a half hour, an hour, 2 hours every single day, and that's your fallback, that's when it becomes a real problem. But what we were talking about with watching a movie on the weekend as a way to slow down and switch off and just even reconnect with the family. There's nothing better than having, homemade pizza sitting in front of the TV with all the kids. It's such a lovely thing to do. And in fact, that's a habit in our family that we've created as a way just to round the week off. Now, it is technology based. But for us throughout the week, we don't watch television throughout the week. So we don't play on our, the kids don't watch TV in the morning before they go to school. They don't play on iPads at night. So that is actually a real treat for us come Friday night. It's something that the kids look forward to. In fact, my husband and I look forward to. So switching off is not just about being anti-technology. It's about being really deliberate in going, what am I choosing to do right now that's going to allow me to slow down and reconnect? And that's sometimes what movie nights do for people.
It's such an interesting concept. I want to ask about this because of something that Luke said before. Angela Lockwood is our guest. More next.
I'm in trouble.
Faith, Family, Culture. Luke and Susie with you, and we're joined by Angela Lockwood. She's the author of the book Switch Off, and we're talking about this whole slowing down, relaxing, switching off from work.
There's practical
and finding a
strategies
space.
to get the brain into a relaxed mode rather than always stimulated with work and things that need to be done.
Yeah. Now, this is the thing. You were saying just before, Angela, about how people can think that your idea of switching off means you're anti-technology, which you're not, and that for you, TV and movies can actually be a really good thing. For someone like Luke, who is in front of a screen all of the time, it just seems odd to me that the relaxed strategy would then be screen again. Do you know what I mean?
And you're 100% correct. I think if you're somebody who being in front of a television or a device is actually a problem, or you're finding that it's the majority of your time that you're spending, then your switch-off mechanisms need to be away from technology. So the example I gave where during the week, my family, we don't have television or iPads or technology during the week. So for us, watching a movie on the weekend is actually the opposite for our normal behaviour. Whereas for people who spend all day, every day, through leisure and through work on a device, then they need to look at the ways to switch off that are different to that. And so for Luke, it might be going for a walk at night, after dinner, or it might be going and catching up with friends for dinner out, or it might even be just sitting out the front, hanging out with his family, having a chat on the veranda. It's things like that when your week is full in one way, doing the things that are opposite and that recharge you and re-energise you on the weekend is really important. So it's always, we talk about work-life balance, but I think the balance we really need to look for is an energy balance.
Well, see,
rather than tasks, it's about energy.
That's great.
I'm trying to learn the ability to slow down my mind, because what happens for me, Angela, and this is why the technology, the movies and the games work, is that I'm such an idea creation thinker that every time I slow down, my brain fires up. And so if I read a book, I'm firing and synapses are going and there's ideas. If I just go for a walk, all I'm doing is thinking about ideas and things that are going on, trying to learn how to actually just slow breathe and stop all those thoughts. It's really hard for me.
I had a friend yesterday have a conversation, and it wasn't me, it was an actual friend. We were having a conversation about this very same thing, and I loved her analogy that she shared with me. She said when she goes walking or running or she's outdoors and exercising, it's like all those ideas run through a colander, so a strainer, you put your pasta in and run it through with the water. It's like when she goes out, all the ideas are in there, but by the end of it, all of the small ones that aren't important or aren't meaningful just somehow fall away. It's the big important ones that remain at the end of her walk or her run or her outdoor activity. And a light bulb even came on for me. Could you just picture that for a moment, that the ideas aren't a bad thing. It's about capturing the ones that are really important and getting rid of the ones that just fill up space. And I think that's a great analogy.
Oh, that is a great analogy.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
I'm totally stealing it, but it was from my gorgeous friend Joe, who we have these conversations ourselves because I think everyone feels like they have it 100% intact. We're always balanced, but no, this is a work in progress. It's all, we need to work at slowing down, but it doesn't need to be something stressful to add to our list. It's just being aware and going, am I actually finding that energy balance in my life right now? And if you're not, I reckon people know it. If you are, then good for you. Keep practicing.
Beautiful, beautiful words from Angela Lockwood, our guest today, from the author of the book Switch Off. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. To find more ways to slow down and simplify your life, follow the Your Life podcast on Spotify and iTunes. And let's connect on LinkedIn and Instagram. Just look for Angela Lockwood. Don't forget, it's your life. You choose how to live it.